Do you ever feel disconnected from the world, as if even a person within arm's reach is impossible to get to? Do you ever wonder why we exist, or why no evidence of extraterrestrial life has been found? Does it often feel like you're separate from everything, just observing reality through a window you can't actually open, and that you're completely alone in a world no one else has access to? Isolation makes perfect sense if your consciousness is actually billions of miles away from your body. To be able to observe the universe, consciousness traverses a distant border called the cosmological event horizon. Information in the form of light will never reach our eyes from beyond this horizon thanks to the speed limit enforced on it by gravity. From Earth, all we can see beyond the cosmological event horizon is darkness. Many cosmologists consider this universal boundary to be the edge of reality. Outside of it, causality doesn't work the way we'd expect based on our experience of space and time here on Earth. We could even say that the cosmological event horizon is infinitely far away, since it's actually moving from us at an accelerating rate as more information lands on its surface through its shadows, the individual event horizons of black holes. This hopelessly unreachable background layer of our universe is a reflection of the information exchanged by all consciousnesses here on Earth. The shadows of these horizontal edges combine to form a single sphere, atop which all conscious beings move around. Through exotic motion, a property of the negatively massed particles that collapse wave functions in our brains, we can alter the information on the horizon itself, which in turn changes the fundamental nature of our world. Thanks to this E-motion, we can interact with each other across distances spanning thousands of light years. Our consciousnesses can interact through bodies that traverse a shared surface, putting each other within arm's reach. According to a short story written by Andy Weir in 2009 called The Egg, the edge of the universe is an egg cell inside which mankind matures, and every person, or cell, who makes up mankind is actually part of the same singular entity, a fetus. In the story, which describes a man's experience of life after death, a being that calls itself God explains that you are all the same person. You are everyone on Earth, and through illusions called space and time, you are able to interact with yourself. This elegant explanation for what consciousness and the universe are is not only emotionally uplifting and psychologically calming, but also, and perhaps most amazingly, scientifically consistent. The concept of light and how it reflects is a more fundamental explanation for the universe than even psychology, neurology, or quantum physics suggest. Light moves along an undulating wave that relies on the perpendicular relationship between electricity and magnetism in order to propagate. Once it reaches an electron, it scatters into multiple amplitudes and changes direction, a process called diffraction. After enough changes in angular momentum, the wave of light eventually reaches your optic nerve and collapses into a particle. All the information about where the light traveled becomes available to you, if only mostly subconsciously. Now, we know that visible light guides us through the world, indicating where to go and how far away things are. We also know that the brain lights up with electrical activity in response to its perception of the world, giving you your ability to feel and think. This sort of reflective process, with illumination occurring inside and outside of your body, exists on either side of a mirror that remains completely mysterious to us. This mirror is consciousness, and when we try to think about it, all we see is a reflection, no actual answers within view from our window of speculation. Similarly, the cosmic background radiation at the edge of the universe reflects its earliest starting conditions. I hypothesize this boundary, the diffractions of which create the illusion of black holes and therefore all light in the cosmos according to the holographic principle of string theory and quantum gravity, to be where our consciousnesses reside. According to Erwin Schrödinger, consciousness is a singular of which the plural is unknown. There is only one thing, and that which seems to be a plurality is merely a series of different aspects of this one thing, produced by a deception. Thinking of consciousness as the singularity, the hidden center point inside all black holes, it exists as an invisible thread, weaving all of us together across the surface of a sphere, our planet, to fabricate an emergent universe. It is the cosmic string connecting the most distant fragments of reality to each other. Outside the Earth's horizon, black holes reflect this process in distant times and places, as they maintain galactic rotations and serve as the memories of fallen stars. Thanks to the massive complexity of daily life for human beings, black holes have produced an enormous universe in not only space, but also time. And since consciousness lies at these borders where space and time stop making sense, just like it resides in the nonsensical border between your sensation and perception, it's easy to think of ourselves as isolated. But this hypothesis also implies that the beautiful, vibrant images of distant galaxies, cosmic backgrounds, and rainbow nebulas are actually what your thoughts and feelings look like. These distant events send their light back to Earth through eons of time and space to generate the world around us. It only takes an infinity, but the process occurring means we're controlling literally everything in the universe via our actions and interactions. Motion, or particularly emotion, guides us in more ways than we realize. This is self-organization at the highest level, and means that the universe's genetic code is the same as the DNA that's shared between our cells and the cells of all other living things here on Earth. And epigenetics implies that to some extent, physical appearance and thought formation are influenced by information coming from this cosmic genome, not just from our own. In this sense, we are all connected. Through our collective motions, the double helix of the universe continues to coil, and in the process fills up the ever-expanding darkness with beautiful lights. Thinking about the universe as a womb is easy if you consider the fetus inside to be unintentionally influencing the appearance of its closed world. Thinking about death is less scary, knowing that once consciousness is freed from your body, it will finally hatch. And at the very least, you'll hatch into the body of a new person. The diffraction of consciousness caused by your death will be redirected by this self-organizing universal egg into the mind of a new human being, allowing you to enjoy this wonderful world from a completely different perspective. Or perhaps if we continue to look optimistically at our situation as the only sentience in a massive, empty cosmos filled with darkness, dangers, and hardship, we'll grow into a being so amazing that we can't even fathom what it looks like in the light. As God says in The Egg, "One day you will become like me, because that's what you are. You're my child."